alongside that as well.
Absolutely, and it's going to be exciting for these guys. Of course, not quite a slot in Europe up for grabs, but a lot of European teams will be making their way up to Dallas as well, which is something I'm particularly excited about, Michael. But Michael, I do believe we are getting into the game right now, so we should probably jump into that. And we might have actually just missed out a very quick pistol round as well. Always one of those small things that can go haywire.
Oh my god, I'm okay. Surprised.
I think it's an actual ace from Malta as well, so now I feel really sad.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, that is true pain. I'm so sorry, Malta.
Yeah. Well, first one of those say small little doohickeys that can pop up. Regardless, though, Aftershock right now opting for the full eco, Glocks all the way. They're just waiting for a push to come out.
They only had one death as well, so not a lot to write home about if you're Aftershock and get a plant down. You know, extrapolating what we can from around like this, and I think Aftershock as well, just hoping that somebody on VERTEX goes looking for these kills, looking for that heat. NikkeZ does find the scout peering down middle, and I think PZ is someone we're going to have to keep our eyes on, you know, when we have the head-to-head against Infrequent, who was on that AWP. PZ has been a formidable force within the region for quite some time. Probably newer addition, I think, within the circuit, but I think already sort of laying claim to some good scoped work.
Yeah. I'm also, like, very interested to see whether Val picks up the op a lot or not. Infrequent couldn't really hit those high numbers, Michael, although, you know, I stress again and again, he had some really good rounds. I'm excited to see whether or not maybe he's able to do a little bit more against a team that is maybe not necessarily on the very top of Australian Counter-Strike, the way I would consider Order to be. Flashbang out in the face of ADDICT. He is in a Molotov. Malta and PZ will crush him. Aftershock, however... well, actually, there goes Ricky as well. Aftershock, however, already struggling a little bit. It's early days, Michael, but even so, it's a stark contrast to what we saw coming out from Order earlier on. It does look like VERTEX is maybe a little bit more comfortable on the map, for sure.
Yeah, a little bit of a slaughter over at long. Kind of bad timings, turning right into the flashbang. And sitting in a Molotov. Oh, NikkeZ is clearing things out over at B, but does he suspect? It sat in at the Humvee. Or where once upon there was a Humvee. APOC will finally swing. Rifle can be recovered. That's an easy upgrade from the SMG. Val has found a kill himself, but that bomb is being sat on like a nest egg by PZ.
And he's going to peek out, goes for the wide swing, and Val, goodbye. Well, not off to the hottest of starts, as VERTEX will even start to collect up that money at the same time. Malta is going to very likely just be happily dropped over a weapon. This should be easy pickings.
This guy's 9-1 and running out of cash. That's crazy. Teammates can accommodate, like you were saying, and Aftershock back into half-buy territory. Can't imagine too many other places they go. A little resistance over towards the B side may delay any sort of a rush that they had planned. If they really felt like that pressure was mounting too heavily, they could always redivert through middle. It's very unlikely on a round like this that VERTEX would decide to be aggressive, considering that they are all upgraded into rifles. I'm going to try and play distance where they can, but even then, the Eagles, give them a long-range fight. Sometimes they will knock your socks off.
I'm surprised that they're opting for the Eagles a little bit more over here. I was under the impression that we're going to see maybe a little bit more of the Tech 9 coming out, especially when you're going for a B push over here. Roflko and APOC will find themselves the kills that are necessary. A deep nade as well from APOC. And nothing at all for Aftershock to do here. A single frag is all they get.
Yeah, really like the idea at the very least there from Aftershock. You know, they bring in some utility and they use it pretty well. You know, they flush out the Humvee. That's another spot where we already saw APOC in a previous round take position over. Then they do the mid-B smoking from short. Or rather, the double doors smoke in from short. Not really a mid-B, but... It's good that they have all these things.
From mid.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. It's just good that they have that in their arsenal, because it's not something that we saw in the game against Order. Aftershock finding a opening kill. Infrequent peering past the one-way smoke over towards long. APOC doesn't give up any control over towards mid and waits for the peek on Ricky. That's an equalizer here for the CTs, and so now things can reset. But Aftershock are moving pretty quickly over towards long, and Infrequent's got another.
Bryce, however, here to recover. He's good for one, and Roflko will find the cross as well. With both the B players being able to commit to mid so easily, but all that extra presence. Smoke goes down, they'll be trying to push in behind it. NikkeZ has the bomb with a flashbang in from Val. He's trying to sell this fake, but Roflko is still keeping an eye out on the back lines. Anyone who's trying to get in through mid, Roflko will be aware. And now APOC, oh, he's just snuck past. He's found the timing. He reveals his position, though, accidentally, maybe. Is that a corpse there? What's going on? But we're finding out afterwards. Roflko, for now, is going to have to go through on this 1v2. Both players low, and Val reveals himself. So the first kill is for free. And NikkeZ just being careful not to stray into headshot territory. A Molotov to force him back as well. Roflko has successfully isolated this duel, but does he know where NikkeZ is? He's backed off all the way to Gandalf. And there we found Roflko. Brings it right back. Is there a corpse there? What was he shooting?
I don't know. I don't think there was a corpse there. That's what really added to the confusion for me. And I think APOG might have just swiped to the left and hit his mouse on a keyboard or underneath his monitor or something. That felt like complete misfiring. Should have been an easy, I'd imagine, a 2v1 setup from there. You know, bomb thrown into limbo.
Yeah.
Would have made it a lot more... It would have made it look a lot better, for sure. But Roflko keeping things under wraps, catching a good timing. They're jumping up on boxes, just unsuspecting of his position, so it's all good. Danger averted.
Long play coming out again. Malta this time fully blind. Inside the Malta, they just keep on fighting. Infrequent will be able to actually escape past it and get the double. And with that, they found the advantage. How long will they maintain it is an entirely separate conversation.
Yeah, winning duels at the start of the rounds has been a difficulty here for Aftershock. Ricky has been the one to get some of these trade kills. Now it's Infrequent and actually kind of leads the way on the entry. While Ricky does hit the deck, it's certainly a position you'd favor Aftershock. See how much they've lent over towards this A side, and with Aftershock still having somebody lingering inside the upper tunnels, there's a way in which they could fall back and maybe clear things out that regard. Roflko considering that fact, and we'll actually find ADDICT just completely unsuspecting. Didn't even consider a lowers push.
This is just such a different look from what we saw coming out from Order, who were playing much more static positions, focusing a lot more on, hey, we're just going to stay defensively in CT spawn and whatnot, and try and play off of that. This is what I expected to see coming out from Order, but VERTEX are just not giving any respect over to Aftershock.
Look up, two players hovering over the A side. APOC left in charge of B. Hard angle for them to clear.
Does have a full belt as well, and that Molotov's going to force them to separate or push through. APOC should be in a good position. They smoke it off instead, and if they want to peek forward, the AWP is going to be keeping an eye out. Bomb can be planted. They will not reveal. APOC, however, is going for a foray. Wants to go try explore this bomb site, but is forced to wait for his teammates. Flashbang overhead, Molotovs as well. Time to move. APOC gets the first. There's still one player back in the green box, and it's Infrequent to find another one. It's all on Val, though, as he gets traded. Val will get the first, doubles it up. Nicely done from the car.
That actually looks so good for VERTEX on that retake. The fact that they throw that Molotov into double stack as well, just to force that fight and allow APOC to get that pick on the AWP. You know, they get that advantage very quickly, but even with the quick trades, just an angle that they couldn't have foreseen there from Val, clearing out on the site and hoping that there's still somebody contained or just hiding, tucking away on Aftershock. Instead, it's Val in a one-and-done position that they don't clear properly. So unfortunate as well, APOC pulling out that Molotov just as Aftershock were trying to contact their way into the site, and re-challenging late over at long isn't the best look. You know, give up the angle and don't have utility to accompany it.
Yeah, that's definitely a little bit of a question mark right there. Maybe just expecting the AWP to have backed off and not maintain the angle. Aftershock have been going for some heavy commits to move outside of the long door, so maybe that's something on the lines of it. But at the end of it all, it won't matter because PZ has found the trade.
Small little players being punished. Ops finding picks apiece. They don't even have their main AWPer on the side of Aftershock. Oh, PZ gave up the corner angle and spots the bomb, but takes a bullet to the head for it.
All comes down to Malta, whether he can go for the flank fast enough because Brace has been eliminated. Roflko as well will not really have a sight line, and as they start to push back in, the MP9 will be insufficient. Flashbang overhead, and as he pushes in, Malta is unable to find the double. Roflko. This should be a safe call. CT Economy has not been allowed to build up. Let's not forget that 1v1 victory was not kind to them.
The 2-on-1. Or
yes.
1-on-2, rather. But...
yeah, I ended up being 1v1 afterward. That's what stuck in my head, yeah. Yeah.
Got the first one for free. Now just looking for a couple exits as Aftershock set up for a second Addict. Oh, does actually make it around the corner. Actually wants to fight it, and Roflko will catch another one. Right to the face. Good stuff here from Aftershock, just trading things out and also just finding a couple of these opening duels. A couple of mistakes, I think, being highlighted for both teams. You know, Aftershock trying to jump their way into Big Pit as well without supportive utility. You know, they didn't have a smoke down to make it so that VERTEX couldn't take this peek in from the bomb site. But also hard to anticipate that there's going to be both AWPs located over the A site. You know, they already dealt with APOC. Then having to account for PZ on the secondary was hard to foresee. Something that they could never have known.
Okay.
That's the bomb and suicide as well. And they're going to get this gun very quick.
Yes, there's no trades whatsoever. Now, finally, Ricky is going to get Malta, but even so, they are hard committed. Addict around the corner, and it is Val to be discovered. Addict taking duel up against the AK will be able to punish, but man, that could have been some problems.
Yeah, just a little awkward.
Growing pains.
Aftershock realized what was up very quickly, though. Didn't fall foul to USPs. Those dastardly things.
Low utility now for VERTEX, so only one incendiary available and no kits whatsoever across the board. I do like that they haven't gone for head armor. That is a pet peeve of mine when teams do that. But Val now going out for the quick peek. Flashbang straight to his eyes will keep him blind, and although he spots out the elbow, will not be able to take it down.
All for PZ is leaning over. Hope noises would have been heard from Ricky. Just kind of setting up and seeing what VERTEX do.
Oh, good timing for PZ.
Yeah, just kind of in transition, sort of floating between spawn and middle. Catches it, falls back. No issue. Two players still located over at B, and a bait and switch setup over at short as well. Malta not actually taking that first contact. Instead, Brace will swing, and he finds all three. Infrequent. Big shot to be missed. And now NikkeZ is left in a 1-on-4 with bomb already exposed and found. Dink taken. And finished off by PZ's AWP. 6th round for VERTEX. A really solid set of holds. The fact that they had a couple of these 1-2 punches as soon as PZ gets that kill. And Brace just delivers everything you need him to in a situation like that. I thought he would be the one to sort of be baited for. He swung just as the T's were taking contact as well, so timing great.
That's just gorgeous stuff. When you miss out on the chance to get that first kill, or at least, you know, maybe get some damage in, etc. versus the first duel, then he knows he has to come in. He knows he has to try and double swing it instead. Becomes a lot more difficult if your player just drops down then. And it's a 3-on-1 ISO. That being said, though, Roflko is about to meet with an execute. Drops down, smokes himself off, and APOC, while blind, just keeps on getting these kills, man. They're so good at this. And now Roflko's even found the gap in the smoke to try and spam away. He's going to keep it going, make sure they can't actually escalate onto the green box. And as NikkeZ makes his way down, it will find the trades necessary to keep on going for this. And now a double up on the retake is never pretty, even less so on the B side of Dust2. But will APOC be given a freebie is the big question. And no, he won't. NikkeZ repositions, and with that, we'll get the straight dome.
Money's not great here for VERTEX, so I have to even consider a save, especially if they're not getting any of these kills too quickly. PZ relocating with that AWP, investigating if there's somebody left on a lurk here for Aftershock, but they're all committed inside of the bomb site. Also a little concerned that Molotov might have made it through the doors and spread to him. Doesn't want to give info away.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. Oh. And Frequent actually ending up going down.
Oh my
Malta's
God.
got another freebie in here. Even goes in for another kill. Barely missing out on the time to actually go for the defuse. He had the kit as well on top of it, but the T-side economy will be punched back down.
Yeah, if he had like 1 extra second to work off of there and was given that audio cue a second earlier, might have been able to jump onto the defuse in time. Aftershock keep it under their belt. I think it's definitely interesting to see the difference in how these Dust2s have been, considering it we've seen it now twice for Aftershock today.
Yeah.
So you're sort of highlighting the differences in the VERTEX CT side. They try to go for like the suicide boost, but Infrequent just misses the jump, by the way.
I didn't even know you could take damage for yourself on that jump.
He didn't take damage, did he?
He lost armor.
Ah, I see. It's one of those falls.
Yeah.
The armor's on your chest. How do you lose armor for full damage? That's the big question.
Maybe you have to rip some of it off and use it as like a mini cast. I don't know, man. I don't work with Kevlar. Oh, spam from Brace? No, not quite. A little bit late on it, but hey, man, I appreciate the attempt, even if it does lead to him being knocked down to 17.
No flash here for Aftershock to round this corner. Only one that's left is in NikkeZ's hands.
Oh, PZ drops down. Might be regretting that one, but regardless, we'll just be trying to reconvene.
They're just so light on utility here for Aftershock to actually make it into the site. Like, they know they have an AWP. PZ saving that in the last round.
Oh.
One smoke for the cross.
Yeah.
It's like, this looks dreadful. This must feel awkward.
No, this is really a bad situation. PZ doesn't want to read peek though. He is maybe concerned about flashes that aren't there at all. Although with a presence over towards the long platform, he will be able to let his teammates just come through, reconvene. The CT utility is as well a little bit low, and Bryce, just on the 5-7, will be investigating down in middle. So that should be at least a free kill to come through for ADDICT, and indeed it is. Infrequent in the meanwhile connects onto APOC. They cannot actually climb back onto the site. And the fact that PZ gave up the angle so early is coming back to bite them just a little bit. Infrequent is still covering off the CT ramp position, and he is expecting the peak to come out from elevator. Malta pushes forward, a crouch peek up, and he's got the kill. With this, it's all down to NikkeZ. Do they have a Molotov? They don't need the Molotov. Malta just walks in, makes quick work of him, and that actually somehow ends up working out for them. I thought that maybe Aftershock had gone and done it, but the re-peek back out to long, where they make themselves accessible to PZ's off, that just ends up taking them down.
Yeah, a really late peek as well in from Aftershock to try and deal with that long presence, but even still, PZ's kept it in the back of his mind that that's a possibility there for Aftershock, considering they had short control for such a long time as well, and how sort of slow VERTEX were about reconvening on that A site. Bit surprised that has gone amiss, because I think I was kind of with you. If PZ is even playing a ramp, or is sort of taking those fights front car and actually just re-challenging, it's very difficult for Aftershock to get those kills. They're very much just hoping that PZ misses that shot. But because they had so many numbers come out so quickly, PZ just wanted to hold on to long control. It's good reactions from VERTEX. Like you were highlighting, the fact that they had low utility themselves. It might have felt a little bit more difficult to actually fight within the site, because usually one of the saving graces is that your long player has like a few of these flashes remaining to allow you to re-peek.
Yeah, you like to keep at least one, you know?
Yeah. That's it feels like a ball being dropped. Oh my god, nade stack on short. Brace eats all of them.
Yeah, he's not too happy about it. The third one was a little bit delayed as well, if I'm not wrong. So actually ends up doing a lot more damage. APOC in the meanwhile retreating back. They are getting a little bit low, but still Glocks on the other side. This shouldn't theoretically maybe, hopefully, be too much of an issue. A lot of focus on going over for the B rush. Coming out on these T side saves, and Roflko will just wait.
Could have finished off the whole ace if not for the greed of APOC. This guy's got an SMG. He wants some of that cash. Can appreciate that. Also trying to help his teammate, of course, but, you know, sometimes you just give him the full 5. Bolton's already had one this game, apparently.
Unless the scoreboard just lied to us. Yeah.
No, I think it told the truth.
Huh? I hope so. It would be a dire day for casters if scoreboard started lying to us.
Well, when players disconnect and then reconnect, sometimes it does.
Oh. APOC. Very important position coming out for him, but he's heard the sound cues of Val. Instead, it's Roflko pushing forward, who's got the kills. Val is still in the vicinity. He is very hard committed to this angle, will connect with it. The off angle working out, but Roflko goes for another one. The problem is going to be NikkeZ, who's actually brought things back in their favor a bit more. Roflko will have to come through with another few kills. If he is able to connect onto the tunnel players, and maybe Malta could have dealt with NikkeZ, but not quite to be.
It actually felt like VERTEX had a pretty good call from the way this round played out. You know, if not for the fact that the sort of tunnels wrap, you know, they're trying to coordinate between the lower and upper side push at the same time to make it awkward there for Aftershock. But when they're thrown into a numbers disadvantage, suddenly they're in these positions where they're a little unsure about where Aftershock are headed or which angles are going to be exposed at certain times. We're seeing Roflko get blindsided by upper re-aggression as soon as the Molotov faded on top of that bomb. Aftershock didn't wait around and play it slow. They wanted to just try and trade effectively, and they were able to make use of all that extra space. You know, if you get aggressive on the CT side and you lose out on some of those opening duels, you have these gaping holes that can be sort of chased down by the T side, especially if you're going for the lower tunnels push or maybe a little bit of aggression off short. Those are your players that you want to have hovering around to bounce between sites, but once those rotators are gone, suddenly there's a whole lot of open territory. So just good job there from Aftershock capitalizing on that fact. Ult for PZ coming into the follow-up round, and Frequent catches the bullet straight to the face. Brace as well will get some impact damage over at long, but there is a trade. Malta can't cross pit, but Brace still hanging around getting another trade.
And Brace will keep on going for more. Ricky now all alone. And you see what they tried to do over there. Because they had thrown out the deep Molotov, the second player in long, who I do believe was Malta, is actually feeling like, hey, yeah, I'm comfortable pulling out a nade, trying to pull out a knife to go over. But they smoked it off and they moved past it, find him mid-air practically. But then Brace, man. Brace has been very good so far. Ricky caught out by a double peek. Can't blame him for that one.
Yeah, Brace even, I think, messing the movement up a little bit. He got stuck on the door, just trying to go for the jump peek. Still, instant trade, no problem. Last round of the half, VERTEX looking pretty well primed to take double digits. Aftershock's buy is unideal. A little Deagles, a whole lot of utility. That's the biggest saving factor about this. And on these low buys, you sort of noted they have been favoring the B-bomb site, just these burst plays that have not really worked out. It'll be far more default approach here from Aftershock.
Oh yes. Okay, never mind. I thought that was gonna be them pushing into the nade. Never mind.
Yeah, could have been.
Very few things in Counter-Strike excite me more than a juicy nade where I can see the trajectory going in. I just feel the misery coming out. Oh, that
nade didn't make it.
Yeah.
Don't need trajectory on that one to see that didn't make it over the ledge. I love that it's trickled down to every facet of Counter-Strike. How quickly people have adopted the nade dropping.
I'm going to have to hold your point there, Michael, because right now Brace is about to have some quick duels coming his way, and dodges out the flash. Good for 3. What the hell is that, Brace? He is untouchable. Now Val's all alone. He's trying to peek out, and M4 scavenged, but he is indeed just a scavenger. And at a 10-5, they will find a heavy lead on VERTEX's side, and we'll be back after a short break to see how Aftershock recover. And here we go, Aftershock down by 5. They can't be too happy about it, but at least they've got an empty long. Oh, never mind, that's VERTEX has got the empty long. They can't be happy about that either.
Look how free it is. And oh my god, Ricky just peeks out and realizes, okay, boys, I need some backup. Smokes down, site's free.
Indeed it is, but flashbangs. Oh, that's a missed smoke. Gap in it means maybe we can see some heroics, but only some tags coming out. Malta in the meanwhile as well. Worse for wear. That grenade's not doing much at all. Bomb can be deployed.
No issues. NikkeZ is finding a kill though, and that's the lurking presence of Roflko found and sussed out. They do have a kit on Ricky, but making it into the bomb site is going to be really difficult. They don't have flashes to help accommodate and facilitate this. They just need to be hitting shots.
Well, there are some good angles coming out from long players at the very least, but PZ is in a position to try and deal with them. NikkeZ, though, still keeps it going. Kit's been dropped in an awkward position, and they've dealt with everyone before the long assault can even come in. PZ even going for his aerodynamics to try and re-navigate. Infrequent will find him as he's picking up the kit, but that kit's too damn far away, Michael. Brace has already won the round just by existing. And there you have it. Even trying to go for the knife in the end, Infrequent forced to deal with him.
I don't think he even had it because he was sticking to defuse. I think it was far too ticked down there for Aftershock. A little slow on the long aggression, and then the focus there for VERTEX to just hone in on all these players coming up short and CT simultaneously. Too much to deal with. Like you said, the kit was dropped in an awkward position, so it just detracts more and more time away from that bomb. VERTEX securing double digits at the tail end of the first half, now extending on that lead, having the pistol go their way. You can see Aftershock investing pretty heavily to hope they can overturn this one. Last thing they want is VERTEX getting such a considerable lead. Might be unavoidable, though. 2 scouts, and on different portions of the map. Infrequent just hovering that long spot, and Ricky just seeing if he can find someone's legs around the hinge smoke, but no one will give him that opportunity.
Curious to see how exactly they deal with this push coming out towards them, because obviously you'd like to have those 5-7s maybe popped a little bit closer. NikkeZ does have the deagle. He's been a damn good hand on it as well, on Ancient in particular. He had a few rounds where he was fantastic with it. And Val is looking to push out from the back lines as well. Infrequent needs to get some tags though, and these flashes will prevent that from happening. The deagle will need to start activating soon as well. Ricky gets a quick one, even tagging up Roflko. And with this, it all comes down to Brace, who's been shot right down. Roflko will be able to fight back long enough to get the bomb plant in, and a quick peek out from the scout. PZ's got the frag. Roflko smokes his retreat off as well. Will be trying to work off the smoke and maybe even get the one-way, but he will end up exposing himself to Val instead. Val, however, found out as he's trying to circle, and a chaotic situation is still managed nicely by the VERTEX side.
Yeah, they move into a stack. Aftershock having 4 players there. They have 2 scouts as well, so first one fires the shot off front car, and then next thing they know, they're getting peeked from ramp as well. That's, I think, what gives Ricky this extra room to work off of. But then they're so focused on dealing with that player in Ricky that it slows things down so considerably. It's really Roflko's shot and finally dealing with that player that was so up close allow them to get into this post plant. And again, just focusing in on certain crucial areas there for VERTEX in the post plant, even in all of that chaos. Aftershock could have had the edge there, but VERTEX playing off of each other in these more unorthodox, more chaotic circumstances in the post plant.
Oh,
yeah, that's sharp.
Man, that was nice. You can tell this guy helps, even if it's just a secondary. But if they start to get money with APOC as well, that's going to be such a devastating way to lose this round. CT window is already closing out just a little bit. Val, however, good for the quick one with the P250. Maybe there's a follow-up to come in. Not quite, though. Malta shuts him down. Ricky on the deagle will keep things even. And now, okay, that's a jump up Zeus. Yep, he did. Malta, though, is just backing off. Doesn't really want to contest those deagles, and for good reason. Ricky is hitting shots. Down low, though, on both these last two players, it doesn't look like they've got too much of a chance to do much in this situation.
They're just giving them so much respect, given that they're on pistols. Like, they're not challenging, they're not trying to take these fights, they just want to play the bomb.
Can't blame them for it. Not at all.
A P250, don't mind if I do. They don't hear a tap, so they know that Aftershock are instead tapping out. Weapons to be recovered, sure, but can't actually get their hands on it.
Yeah, even the AKs don't actually get blown over the side. Instead, a little bit closer to it. I would have liked to see some, some nice little physics maneuverability. The player with the P250 picks up the AK, throws it down.
I think it might have been a Galil actually on the bomb site, but yeah, just throw it over the ledge to make it so that it sends it down long. Yeah, I think that could have been nice. They weren't sure whether VERTEX were still hovering around the bomb site though, so a little scary.
Oh.
Wow, I'm actually surprised that PZ sees him there. The grenade smoke obscures both sides of the vision. Harder at distance, sure.
Yeah, indeed.
And Ricky escaping after missing the AWP shot. They looked like they wanted to capitalize, but the immediate smoke in the front side of the tunnels means that they cannot. It has forced 2 smokes out of the CTs, though. There was one as well, the one-way on the site.
They've used most of their util already on the CT side, and there's, what, well over a minute left.
Yeah, it spooked him.
Curious to see whether we see any aggression coming out from them, though. Aftershock with the double op. Wouldn't hate something like a tunnels push or so, just to be able to get an idea out, but and Ricky being low as well, he cannot be the one to lead it.
Might just have to be the B-side anchor. As Fake over towards the B-side, smoke down in towards the doors, lurk smoke down, a Molotov as well. That's 2 bits of utility over that direction, so it's pulled an additional player over on the Aftershock side. They vacated most of this A side, and that's where VERTEX are headed.
Oh man, and Frequent though lands a shot. They don't have a secondary smoke deployed in time. What is that kind of greed coming in? Maybe a couple of Molotovs as well will be needed. PZ does have one, but as Infrequent and Val are both getting close, a Molotov will instead be expended onto Elevator. Roflko activates finally. Coming in from behind, finding the kill onto the short man. And everyone else is clustered up inside CT. Ricky to take down Malta, and PZ will fall. Roflko will also be going down. Sorry, it was Malta coming in for the flank, not Roflko, but even so. That's a big payment for a smoke not deployed.
Yeah, and VERTEX had them playing in the palm of their hand. You know, that Fake fully sold Aftershock on some sort of a B-sided play, and I think they started to realize, but they weren't going to be able to contest in time. If that full smoke wall is down, then the AWP doesn't get as much impact. You know, they can play a little bit safer in these post plants. But I think because they had the extra utilities sort of given over to that B lurk, they might have thought that they could use the extra smoke to maybe even section off short and get into safer post-plant positions. Maybe thinking a little too far forward. You said the greed, I think, is what ultimately is punishment. Frequent finding the pick over at the B side of the map means that the AWP is left in limbo. Nobody on VERTEX can go and retrieve that, not without deploying a smoke or a flash. Try and get Infrequent off the angle. I was going to entrust him with the entirety of the B site here on the side of Aftershock. A lot of potential mid-pressure could be applied by the CTs. Damn, immediate deep smoke on short. So
yeah,
that hinge smoke doesn't accomplish a whole lot. Roflko can set himself up in a small cubby. That's actually teammates right behind him.
You also don't have anyone in lower tunnel to set up for a nice pop flash or a deep Molotov without revealing that presence. And as the smoke dissipates, we're trying to phase it. But NikkeZ, he is on a tear today. Hey, Bok, whoa. All right, will be caught in the back, so not the most impact to the round itself, but that's still a couple of impressive shots coming out from them.
Yeah, it's one of the advantages of having the setup that they had there on Aftershock. You could see the potential mid-play that they had primed. If there was nobody lingering behind that deep short smoke, then they would have probably coordinated with the player close double doors and just cleared out mid and lower kind of simultaneously and get that extra info. If they're not in middle, they're usually postured up outside of long or the upper tunnels, and then you can have that little bit of early information for someone like Infrequent maybe as the anchor. Also a hot start, but Aftershock answering back in a big way. Get their hands on these rifles and the story's changed.
BZ managed to actually completely avoid the scope for Ricky coming out. It didn't look like that would be the case for a second. As he has peeked over, right as the smoke is dissipating, loses out the bomb as well. Not sure if Ricky spotted that through the fading smoke though. Okay. Setting up for a quick drop down to CT. Ricky will make quick work of him regardless with the deagle.
They can get a blind.
At least it's money,
yeah.
And they do need it, in all fairness. Their loss bonus is just sitting at that 2,400 mark, so...
I mean, they were on, like, Glocks and upgraded pistols. This is what they wanted.
Oh, Apox found. Okay. Well, 5 players kept alive for the CTs. They're pretty happy with that as well. At the same time, they need the opportunity to keep building up the cash if you're wanting to sustain a double up.
And come back into this game as well.
True.
Want a couple of these close rounds being the straw that breaks the camel's back. Aftershock have still a fair bit of distance to go. It was a 5-round deficit, but something that they can bridge if they can continuously break the money of VERTEX and keep enough in their coffers to reinvest themselves. So the double AWP is very hard to sustain if you're not winning the rounds cleanly. Building up a buffer. 4 players situated over at long at the start of this one for Aftershock, and nobody actually contested on the other side. That's free territory, and so Aftershock can reset a little bit more orthodox.
ADDICT's been forced off the angle. A lot of the impact from Aftershock's mid players have come down from peering into those mid doors while VERTEX is trying to cross over. The duel has very rarely actually gone the way of the T side. NikkeZ as well has been one of the big points of impact, and as he's peeking forward, the flashbang is great. Brace is found, and PZ is going to be able to trade it out, but now has Infrequent to deal with.
Oh, NikkeZ got scared. The fact that he got tagged by the Molotov, thought it was going to spread and force him out of position, but wasn't following that far. Ricky as well finding his pick over at B. Does mean that it's left on long and short. And Infrequent, just spotting the elbow, fires off a little too early.
Back off, and flashbang is good. Apoc follows up with a frag, and Val, he's up next on the list.
These are kills that didn't feel like they should have gone the way of VERTEX.
That extra money might need to be used a little bit more quickly. ADDICT, however, scope into PZ, misses out his shot. Malta still playing out for long, and as the smoke's been deployed, the CTs will be trying to push out of it. PZ now knows what the plan is, and the CTs are moving through. Ricky will just consider backing off to save. Committing over here is a bold decision. Don't know if I'm quite on board with it. At least he can try and take some money away, if nothing else.
Yeah, I think that's more trying to do mental damage there on the side of Ricky. Get the extra kills in. Of course, it does have economic repercussions. The fact that VERTEX are still trying to build a bank themselves, and with Aftershock having a few of these cleaner rounds on the CT side, they are going to be in a better position than their opponents. VERTEX, though, another one of these rounds that they squeak past. And VERTEX had the methods to be able to win that round. Infrequent, that shot that missed on the AWP, the fact that he lingers, eating the flash in its entirety, and is another one of these positions where if he just falls back and sort of plays alongside his teammate, maybe they're able to bounce back and just get an easy enough trade. It would only be 2 players left on the bomb site, far more feasible for the CTs to retake. But a few of these independent plays being attempted ultimately not followed through on. I know it comes down to one player a pop for both teams in that round, but that's actually a pretty heartbreaking round to lose because you're trying to come back into this game. Now you're at a 6-round deficit. You know that if you hit that one important kill, it could have been enough to help sustain this comeback effort.
Oh, careful now, APOC, because even obscuring the vision of his upper, unfortunately for him, Infrequent is the one to take him down. His own man will not stab him in the back. At least there's that, I guess. I don't know.
I think he would have made extra careful that he didn't shoot his teammate in the back. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, though.
Indeed. Oh, flashes out over, time to contest, and Val's caught out. Malta is blind, but it won't matter. Infrequent to try it and keep things in an advantage for the CT side.
Yeah, and they escape. That could have been really dangerous. They wanted to re-aggress just at the same time that VERTEX were executing and trying to get themselves into the pit. To stop them in their tracks, though, they have to be very concerned about that smoke that they even threw themselves on the corner because they could have been lingering right around the other side. Aftershock not counting their chickens. You know that they can't let anything go for free. Well, lots of punishment in terms of being too greedy or making like a small error has, I think, been a tale in a fair few of the rounds that we saw, especially in the first half. Frequent, another one of these missed shots where only catching just a small glimpse and hoping that the VERTEX player on the other side is there to catch it.
20 seconds though, and time is running 10. And Roflko being found out at the back lines. It all came down to Brace because an up can only do so much. And with that, Brace and Malta fall, and it is the 9th round for Aftershock nonetheless. Even so, VERTEX are still... Maybe now is the time to start squirming in their seat just a little bit, but I'm sure they're still fairly comfortable.
Yeah, and this is some of the impact as well that Ricky, I think, was trying to accomplish by not only saving the AWP, but also dealing some extra damage at the tail end of a round, which was already lost. You know, VERTEX had an unideal buy, and now the money that they're hoping to build up isn't quite there.
Oh, Nicky. It's all Val, and he is picking up those frags like it is Sunday's groceries. Very quickly, very easily, knowing that it is rewarding.
Getting groceries is rewarding?
Dude, are you kidding? Getting groceries is amazing. I love getting groceries.
Okay.
Unless you're broke, in which case it feels kind of bad.
Okay. It feels like an attack.
Michael, we both make the same money. If it's an attack on you, it's an attack on me.
Only a 4-round separation now, though. Aftershock really making some good coordinated decisions to not only re-aggress, but also fall back alongside each other, trying to hold on to these man advantages. Again, not squandering the opportunity that's given to them. VERTEX so close to the finish line, and I think that was what we were kind of expecting moving into this half, but Aftershock have really shown another level now that they're on the CT side, especially when they got their hands on those guns. Really turned things around, and I'm hoping that they can continue to close in on that gap. Ricky even being aggressive into the upper tunnels, a deep smoke in upper as well. VERTEX will have to keep a check on that in some regard, otherwise that's free information for the CTs and could as well be advanced positions for them as well. And it limits the options and allows Aftershock to lean in on some of these stacks. Nifty little off angle here from Val.
Oh, Val's been forced off of it though, and now needs to just take on the classical duels, and he'll only be good for the one. However, NikkeZ is just, man, he is tearing them apart on this map. He is having such a strong performance. APOC is the one to respond for now, but with a bomb well and lost over towards long, there is no chance for them to recover. And now you start to sweat, because now you're set up for a 14-12, and things are not looking to change.
Yeah, they're trying to play out these rounds slow, but it's these moments of re-aggression and just the quick reactions there from Aftershock, where we see this off angle from Val, but because of the flashes, yes, he's forced into the pit. But before you know it, there's NikkeZ swinging off of his contact round the corner smoke. The Teeds themselves throw. They're thinking they have a little bit of extra time, maybe. You know, they've waited out the early portions of the round. Miss smoke as well to feign some long pressure here for VERTEX, but nobody there for Aftershock as well to contest. Doubling B and even having an extra player lean on over, just pistols running through.
And there goes out all the flashes. ADDICT and Ricky have got to keep a grip on things. With Infrequent's help, it's easy as can be. Yeah, there you have it. 12th round for Aftershock. And now, VERTEX very much starting to find that you're basically one gun round away from getting equalized upon. So not too happy about that. I would like to see something maybe a little bit more, mid-centric. Maybe something on the lines of the mid to be and whatnot. Just try and break new blood. Try and break new ground.
Yeah, when they've tried to go for like the traditional mid default and, you know, slow work short, that was actually the few rounds where Aftershock were trying to get aggressive themselves in that regard. So I think it's just been a little unfortunate that the rounds where they could play it a bit more default, that's where Aftershock are playing a different game. For example, now we even have short pressure with the AWP of Infrequent, but also close to the doors is ADDICT as well to provide some support in case they try to chase. These are nice little setups to allow for some early duels to be won by the CTs, because if the Bloodlust spurs you on, then you can also just get baited right in. Catching the reload in CT was APOC's idea, but ADDICT was there, and Val winning his duel over at long as well. The PZ, he didn't have head armor, so just gets plucked out.
Very impressed that Malta actually tried to pre-fire that. At least, I think he checked it at the very least.
Yeah. A little vertical adjustment.
Easy. Oh. Infrequent missing out the first and the second chances. Brace, however, has been forced back courtesy of the flashbang of ADDICT, and with that, Infrequent can re-peek and make those 1v1s look mighty easy. 14-13. Like I said, Michael, one gun round away from being equalized, potentially.
Yeah, it's hard to say that 10-5 on a CT half is what you expect from Dust2. Like, we've seen the map has turned a lot more CT-sided with the addition of the obscurity. You know, you can't take that easy peek down mid anymore because of the way the map changed. It's really opened up tunnels pressure. It actually just makes it so difficult to default on the T side. There's a lot of spawn-dependent stuff that has to happen from your B spawns effectively to try and eliminate that. But it's strange to think that we might see a comparable performance here from Aftershock now that they are just one round away from tying things back up. VERTEX have honestly been a little uninspired, I think, on this T side.
Smoke out, and the defense is completely ready on the A-bomb side. There is nothing that is going to be able to stop them. Flashbang out. Val is going to be able to recover from that in time as well. Roflko, sure, he's good for one, and Malta gets another, but you still don't have the ramp control yet. NikkeZ, though, with that miss, isn't going to be regretting it too much, courtesy of ADDICT's grenade. Malta all alone with the AWP. A 1-on-3.
Be a big one if you want it, but 16 HP wouldn't exactly put many tokens on him. Okay, NikkeZ is just crouched in the middle of the bomb site, so that little mushroom cap plucked out. Doesn't need a truffle pig to find that one. Not even just the idea.
Great positioning from ADDICT, though.
Yeah, I mean, just being able to stay on the bomb site, keep tabs, any sort of extra info. Ricky was actually trying to contain Malta, but actually just trying to double up now.
Yeah, Malta going for the bomb over here.
He sees him.
Spots out ADDICT's head. That no scoop had landed. Would have been a very different round. But even so, 14-14. Aftershock have somehow equalized.
Yeah, been doing great work. Changing their setups continuously, playing off of each other as well, and having these first ports of contact. VERTEX, when they've been trying to set up for control, have just been getting caught out by, I think, tunnel visioning or focusing in on that first player a little too intently, and that's partially due to the fact that they haven't been able to line up easy trades on this T side either. Usually it's CT getting a kill and staying alive for a little bit of extra time. That's what allows the secondary to swing. And I'm not saying VERTEX haven't tried other solutions. They've certainly been focused on, you know, going for some of these long takes. They've been setting up in some of the mid defaulting, albeit maybe not as frequently as we saw Aftershock do on their T side. But then they've been met with this aggression that's been called from the get-go from Aftershock. They made it, I think, difficult to feel comfortable in setups like that.
If Easy got one of these kills, then, you know, that's one of the few things that I can see maybe VERTEX being able to steal a round away off the back of it, but beyond that, Aftershock's just been heavily in control.
Part of the reason I really loved the change that they made to Dust2.
Used
to be able to get that for free.
Just on LAN.
In smoke from T-Spawn. Nerdy stuff. All lineups experimented at one point or another because the show pause command got changed.
Yeah.
Or a rebellious slot. We'll find another way.
Rob's posted like 4 different ways in each
I know those YouTube videos of like another 4 extra, so.
Well, Short Molotov is going to be giving away some of their intent at the very least. We got to be hoping that Infrequent doesn't just get this one for free, is being chased after, and is going to be able to back out of there. Infrequent's been very good at getting the hell out of dodge frequently, and now, with Malta finding a kill on the Val on long, he has punished, and that leaves the A-bomb site completely empty. APOC down in mid, though, could end up being a quick casualty. One that they would not like to bear. Roflko as well, exploratory, and found out. Bomb can at least be planted, though.
Yeah, 4-on-4 retake. They have to be very quick about how they progress off of short. NikkeZ is trying to forefront the action, and a flash maybe being lined up by his teammate as well, rounding the corner. APOC eating that flash right up, so an advantage for the CTs coming into the back into this A site.
Molotov is down to stop the CT pressure from short, or at least delay it for a while longer. There is no more utility available for the T side to play off of, though, so Malta has to hit some shots. Bryce on the other side, waiting behind that smoke. They are fully collecting around short for this retake. Molly goes in as well. Incendiary to force them away. Addict has got PC, and they are picking them apart on this retake. It's all Bryce, and Immortal he may have been. Now can't find the double Ricky to take him down.
Far too quick, and I think just very suspiciously eyeing that smoke as well because it was lingering a little long. Where else could he be? Eliminated all the likely possibilities so that there can only be the improbable that remains. What a turnaround this has been. A 10-5 half leading into the second for VERTEX. And they won the pistol. You know, they got the early advantage that they needed, but as soon as we got these rifles back online, that's where it all turned around. Aftershock not done on their map pick. We do need the full 30. But the way that the momentum has shifted, and, you know, I imagine the confidence alongside it to bridge that gap and get to a position where you could potentially just win your map outright. That was the goal from the start, but now that they're so close to it, is this where they buckle or fully send it through? That would be heartbreak for VERTEX. I'm so close. And yet, full so far.
VERTEX might have had their hearts broken already, but now it's all about whether they can mend them. No heavy contention out and long this time. That was generally VERTEX's MO over in CT side. Long ago as it may seem.
This is out of the last 11 rounds. 10 won by Aftershock. For extra context.
Is pretty nuts.
Gonna hope that
this is a lot of long... Yeah, this is a lot of long presence established at the very least. As long as the B alert doesn't get picked off, can activate later on, it's a good position to start the round off with. As they start, we're well into the midway point of it.
This is very reminiscent of that round where we were saying they didn't throw that secondary smoke here for VERTEX. Look how vacant that A-bomb site is. Aftershock were so lent over to a mid-B idea or a B-sided play. Malta is sold to them on the fake once again. And this time, VERTEX don't make that mistake. They don't blunder. They don't lose players on the cross. They have 4 players that can try and contest this. This is Aftershock are setting up for the post plant.
Oh, Infrequent misses out a rare shot as well. He's been on fire so far, but Ricky Bright just walks into him. Ricky's fully ready, and now a 5-on-3. This is with a lot of flashes, a lot of utility as well on top of it all. There's only one available for PZ, is used to peek out into CT, and even that, ADDICT dodges out and will start to re-aggress. Even Ricky now making his move over. Roflko likely to be caught out soon. Ricky's got 1. Ricky has got 2, and Aftershock, with that, they should be able to get away with it, and indeed they will. 16-14, their map pick is 1 out on the slimmest margins imaginable.
Yeah, to consider this victory came at such a heavy cost to their opponents. 10-5, now out of the last 12, they win 11 rounds. Hell, that's a hell of a rallying call there for Aftershock, and that momentum